Welcome to F1 for Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And in this episode 66 of Weekly Sports Talk with Ed, we so the topics we're gonna cover today: September Wrestling Awards, Zips update, where I talk about African sports. I'm gonna be talking about the flawed NBA top 100 list, the NBA rank. And that was pretty terrible. Which winless team is going to win a game first in the NFL. I think I said this out of order. The NFL stuff I'm going to talk about, then I'm going to go to the NBA. Then the WNBA Finals, do a recap of game one for that. And then I'm going to conclude with athletes of the week. Shit. Let's get started with September Wrestling Awards. For the MVP of the month of September, I'm going to go with Hangman. I'm enjoying his run with the World Championship. It's put on some good matches, had some good promos, especially the match against Cal Fletcher. That was very entertaining. That was a good main event for All Out. So I think he's just been doing a good job in general with as the world champion since he's won the title for a second time in his second reign. And it's going pretty well. I know he got some with Samoa Joe coming up. So we'll see how that goes, but it's looking like a decent feud so far. For male superstar of the month for September, I go with Darby Allin. It's his feud with John Moxley. It's been cool, even though he lost the match and it still continued. Like Darby's looked great. He's looked like a star since he's came back. Like Darby is going to be a world champion at some point. It may not be this year. It could be next year, maybe even 2027. But he's going to build. The slow build is going to be worth it for Darby Allin when he eventually does become world champion. It's definitely going to be an exciting moment for him and for AEW fans because I think Darby Allin is more than deserved to be a world champion at some point in AEW. Whether it comes soon or it comes later down the line, I'm going to be excited when it does finally happen. For female superstar of the month of September, go with Stephanie Valkyrie for the third time this year. Finally won the Women's World Championship, beat Io Sky in what I felt like was a top 5 match of the year. Her English has improved. Her going to NXT first and being able to take English classes has really paid off. And like I said, this is the third time I've given her this award this year. I just feel like she just, the segments are improving. The matches, Stephanie is always going to put on great matches. When it comes to Stephanie, it's just about the story she can tell and the promo she's able to do. Obviously, the promo with Tiffany on SmackDown last night, it didn't really do too much. It was pretty basic since they're both faces. It's like it's not too much I can expect from that. It's like they don't really have any history with each other. It's like the segments with Io, the backstage stuff she did with Jade, Tiffany, and Nia Jax. With Jade and Tiffany, I don't know if she said anything to Nia Jax. I feel like she feels a lot more comfortable with her English now. So that's really what I'm looking at when it comes to Stephanie. Like I said, the matches are always going to be there. Stephanie usually puts on good matches, but she continues to do, like I said, her and Io, top 5 match of the year, in my opinion, when it comes to wrestling. So that was a shout out to Stephanie Valkyrie. For tag team of the month, I feel like I picked a different tag team for each month this year, and I made a video discussing how bad tag team wrestling has been and how weird it's been this year. And it's been pretty bad, but I went with the Usos for the month of September, them reuniting, the little details in their stories with Jay and Jimmy, with Jay pushing Jimmy aside for his goal of getting the world title back. And Jimmy won his helping LA Knight, but Jay not rocking with it. Roman giving Jay that advice, which segment of the month was Roman giving Jay advice. Not the segment they just did, but the one a few weeks prior, leading to their tag team match at WrestlePalooza. That was the best segment of the month, in my opinion. Roman giving Jay that advice. So I just said the tag team matches against the Bronze were good tag team matches. The one at WrestlePalooza was decent. And then the LA Knight didn't really make a difference. And then they got the win back in the Tornado tag match. That was super cool. The segments have been there. It's like when they're together, they're on point, whether they're going against another team like the Bronze or if they're just talking to each other. Like the Usos, like I think if they keep doing this, and maybe they've been in the running for tag team of the year at the end of the year. But it was between them and the Street Profits, but I gave it to the Usos because I think that's had the time. They've just had the better segments in general. Like the Street Profits put on good matches and had decent segments as well, but I just felt like the Usos stuff on Raw was more groundbreaking than what the Street Profits did on SmackDown. So it was close between those two for tag team of the month, but I just went with the Usos for that. For most improved for the third time this year, I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill. I don't think she botched in that match. It was just unfortunate, really just unfortunate. But Nia Jax scored hard as hell into the steel steps. But some stuff just can't be prevented. Even if she tried to get her hands up at the last minute, but she was pretty much out of it once she got thrown into those steel steps. But Jade Cargill, she's been having a pretty decent year. I don't know where she goes from here now, but I think in the month of September she continued to improve and show why she is so why WWE signed her. Like it's showing, like the improvement is definitely showing for Jade Cargill in my opinion. Like she feels more comfortable. Like she's getting adjusted really well. The feud with Naomi was great. The feud with Tiffany Stratton was very decent. I enjoyed it. It's probably, I guess it's over now. She didn't get pinned, so maybe she gets one more title match. Nia Jax got like 5 title shots, so maybe Jade get another one. Maybe she got to win the Royal Rumble or something. But she just won't win the ring. But Jade Cargill has to continue to improve, and her promos are getting better too as a baby face since she's naturally a heel coming from AEW, but giving her that time to let her shine on her own as a face and doing more promos on her own. I think she's definitely improved on the mic as a face. For Rookie of the Month for September, I'll go with Leon Slater for the 5th time this year. He's pretty much clear cut in the running. Probably gonna win it when I do a award show at the end. And I think with Leon Slater, with him, like he's been doing this. He's been in TNA since October of last year. And so after this month, he would have been in TNA for a year officially, doing a great job as X Division champion. Had a good tag team match with Cedric Alexander. Also been doing stuff with the Hardy Boys over the course of a year, getting into a feud with Javon Evans. Like Leon Slater, the youngest champion in TNA history. Leon Slater is amazing, been doing a great job, and he's in, like I said, probably gonna win Rookie of the Year because this October is gonna be the last month I can give him this award. Well, technically November because I do this each month, but this could be the last year that he wins. This is October could be the last month that he wins Rookie of the Month if he keeps on this trajectory. And then if he has Rookie of the Month 6 times, by if he wins it again once I do the October award show, then he'll probably win it at the end of the year, in my opinion, from my award standards. But yeah, this is the 5th time I'm giving him Rookie of the Month this year. The best match of the month was definitely Valkyria defeating Io Sky at WrestlePalooza for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, that's the 5th best wrestling match of the year that I've seen, in my opinion. It was a super entertaining match. It was, I made a whole video about the match, about Stephanie and Io, just talking about the build to how Stephanie got here. It was like a 20-minute video. I didn't even want to talk about WrestlePalooza. I just wanted to talk about Stephanie specifically in her match with Io when I made that video. You can find it. The video is called Stephanie Valkyria Earned This. And she sure did. But her match against Io was amazing. Io is very talented. The match with Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors, that should be a pretty entertaining tag team match. I don't see how that match could be bad. I just don't see that happening. Rivalry of the month. For the 2nd time, I'm going to go with Trick Williams and Mike Santana. Their feud has been pretty cool with the dynamic of NXT versus TNA, and Mike Santana being the TNA guy trying to get their title back from an NXT guy. And I think after Trick loses, he'll get caught up. But this feud is really helping building up Mike Santana, exposing him to more people, exposing him to the NXT roster, and maybe more people check out NXT. So yeah, I'm definitely cool. Yeah, that rivalry's been cooking. That's one of the best rivalries this year, aside from Jade versus Naomi, which was also a very great rivalry, which I rewarded them a few times. Rivalry of the month. I think I gave it to them 3 times. I could be wrong, but Naomi and Jade, they had a pretty, their rivalry was pretty fun. It was pretty enjoyable throughout the year. I definitely enjoyed that. I gotta check something because I might have gave it to them 3 times. I'm trying to see because that wasn't, that was, I gave it to him twice, but there was, well, maybe. I gotta check that again. I think I gave it to him twice. Yeah, 2 times, rivalry. But yeah, 2nd time. So Jay versus Naomi and Mike Santana versus Trick Williams. Both of those are in the running for rivalry of the year at this point, and on October 4th. But we're just talking about the month of September for now. For the best pay-per-view of September, I think it was All Out. had a decent opening with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage taking on FTR. Beth Phoenix making her AEW debut. Eddie Kingston having his return. The main event with Hangman and Cal Fletcher was very entertaining. The women's fatal four-way was a cool match. Rio versus Mercedes, that was really good. It was like a lot of these matches were really good and very entertaining. I didn't really have many problems with All Out. I gave it a 9 out of 10. A very good, probably AEW's best pay-per-view of the year. It was definitely, I can check that since I got my other notebook. Yeah, that was their best pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion. Yeah, most of their pay-per-views have been pretty solid. So, yeah. The surprise of the month came from that pay-per-view All Out. It came with Chris Statlander winning the AEW Women's World Championship, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know how many people expected that. But shout out to Chris Statlander, because I wasn't expecting that. And it was a fun fatal four-way match. It was very entertaining. All four women did their job in that match. Jamie Hayter, she felt kind of out of place, but it was still entertaining nonetheless. I enjoyed it. The best return of the month was Eddie Kingston. That's All Out as well. That's when he made his return. I felt like the match with him and Big Bill was pretty decent. The ending could have been a bit better, but it was a decent match for him not wrestling in nearly 2 years. So we got to give him a little bit of credit for that. The best weekly TV show this month, surprisingly, was SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown was very consistent on a week-to-week basis. Tiffany's and Jay feud was pretty cool. Sami Zayn, U.S. Open Championship challenges have been entertaining. I can't say nothing negative about his runs. Like, the matches have been pretty good. It's just some of the endings have just been pretty shitty, and that's not on Sami Zayn. That's not nothing he can control, but it's like it's a lot of interferences and distractions to end these matches. He's 4 at 3-0-1 technically, since the same match was a no contest, but he still retained. So he's had 4 title defenses, 4 good matches. Like, none of these matches have been bad. It's just some of the endings could be a bit better. And that's nothing Sami Zayn can control. That's completely on booking and who's ever directing these matches. But yeah, Sami Zayn been doing his thing. Cody just came back. The match with Drew was pretty cool. The stuff for Randy, I'm like, it's here and there, but it's not nothing. It's not a negative or positive with the Randy stuff. It could be better, but it's not like terrible. So SmackDown, that was the best weekly TV show in the month of September. So shout out to SmackDown, because it's the first time this year I've said that. It took me 9 months to say that, but because it's usually just been Impact. Impact or Dynamite. But I was like, hey, SmackDown, they did their thing this past month. I was thrown into SmackDown. SmackDown last night to start October had a pretty good start to it, in my opinion. So I'm rocking. And then the top promotion for the month of September, for the 5th time this year, I'm going with AEW. It was close between TNA and AEW. I was like, man, it was super close. Like TNA and AEW, I was like, because they both had 4 at this point through the first 8 months, and then I was like, I don't know who to go with. But since AEW had to pay better pay-per-view, Victory Road, it wasn't bad. It was an 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. I was like, I gave All Out the 9 out of 10, so I'm gonna go with AEW. But it was super close. But I also think AEW, I had to go with AEW. I think they had the better weekly TV shows too. I think Dynamite was better than Impact. Impact, it was pretty inconsistent in the month of September, which was a surprise because Impact is usually pretty consistent. So I don't know what happened in September. But those are my wrestling awards for the month of September. Now we can move into the second segment, which is Zip's Update, where I talk about all things happening sports. So to start off with our football team, I'm going to be talking about football, volleyball, men's soccer, and women's soccer. So let's get into the football talk first, because I'm going to talk some more football later. So I want to have that all caught together. But Zip's Update, first starting with the football team. Last week we fell to 1-4 after losing 45-3 in a loss to Toledo. This game was very embarrassing for us, because it's like, I don't know what to say about this team. It's like, I'm only saying us because I go here, but my team, the team that I actually root for is Clemson, and if it's Arkansas because I'm from there, so I root for the Razorbacks, I root for Clemson because I actually like them. And Trevor Lawrence is one of my favorite quarterbacks. He came from Clemson. But it's like, when it comes to our football team, Joseph Castle, 8 punts, 368 yards, 46 yards per punt. That was the leading stat of our team last week. We had more punting yards than passing yards last week, and we lost by 42. And then we let Junior Van Der Ross go for 9 catches, 122 yards, a 13.6 average, and 2 touchdowns for Toledo. Just ran all over us, not 13.6 yards per catch. That's a first down and 4 extra yards per catch. Like yeah, the corners and DBs aren't doing anything. The corners, DB, safety don't matter. You can probably get some random off the street to just do exactly what Junior Vander Ross did. Our one win came against Queens 51-7, and I don't know how the hell we won that game. But yeah, Junior went for 9 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Toledo, and they dominated. They were up 28-0 at one point. Akron had no chance of winning that game. And then so far on the season, like I said, we're 1-4. So let's not even focus on that game. Let's just focus on the season through these 5 games, because I have to go be cameraman for our homecoming game against Central Michigan after I get done with this live. And I really hope we don't get embarrassed, man. But let's look at the quarterback room. We've played all 3 quarterbacks. They all have at least 20 passing attempts. And our quarterback room has 4 touchdowns in 5 games. 4 passing touchdowns in 5 games. We can't even get a touchdown per game. And then the starting quarterback, he's throwing 2 interceptions. He's the only quarterback with touchdowns. These are the second or third string quarterback that threw a touchdown. Haven't threw an interception either. But the third string quarterback has taken 4 sacks, while our starter has taken 9 sacks. So we have 4 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and 13 sacks on the season. That's what our quarterback room is doing. This is why we're 1-4. I don't know how the hell we have a win. The fact that we have a win is so surprising to me. And then we playing Central Michigan, who was 3-2, but they might win. We're probably losing again. Central Michigan might run all over us. And then it's like the running back room is decent too. You have 3 backs averaging 4 yards per carry or better. Grant 5.9 average, Patrick 4.7 average, Williams 4.1 average. So we have a decent running back room, and it's not the O-line doesn't suck. If the O-line was terrible, then these players wouldn't be like Grant, Patrick, and Williams. Those 3 wouldn't be able to have at least 4 rushing yards per attempt. It's not the O-line, it's the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks are terrible, and you can't get the passing game going. It's like can't do anything because some of the stats that our receivers have. These are stats that Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams are getting in one game. And obviously, they play for bigger schools. They play for Ohio State. They play for Alabama. But at the end of the day, we're not playing the same competition that they're playing on a week-to-week basis. So we have receivers getting the same averages that they might have in a game or 2 in just 4 games because our quarterbacks can't do anything. Our quarterback room is atrocious. 4 touchdowns and 13 sacks. How are we going to win games like that? And then our defense only has 7 sacks on the year in 5 games. This team can't even get 2 sacks per game. Only 7 in 5 games, the team has 7 sacks. Who the hell is going to win like that? The defense isn't doing anything. We're losing in the 4 games we've lost by an average of 30.7 points per game. And then we got the 1 win where we won 51-7. Forget that. The 4 losses. We're not even on track to have a bowl game at this point. You need 6 wins to get a bowl game. 5 if you're lucky. So I know 6 is the minimum, but some teams can get in with 5. It just depends on circumstances and situation. But we're not even on pace to get that right now. We're probably going to, let me not speak that into existence. We might lose. Who knows? I don't have confidence that we can win today against Central Michigan. But if we're losing by an average of 30.7 points and we only have 7 sacks on the season, the team is bad. And I had to be a cameraman for the game today for homecoming weekend. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't. You know what? I think let's move on to the volleyball. Now, volleyball has been struggling lately. Our volleyball team, our women's volleyball, 8-6. 4-1 away, which is interesting. So we had our best record is on the road, which is surprising. I'm pretty sure we won last night. I need to file to watch that game because I do want to watch that. And 3-2 at home, so over 500, game over 500. But we're 1-3 when it comes to neutral sites. So where we're struggling at the most is when it comes to neutral sites. Also 1-2 a conference play, and I think they just won a conference game last night. But they started 5-2 in the first 7 games, and then they went 3-4 in the next 7. So what I really think it comes down to is like we're just surprised. Like we had a good first 7 games to start. We started 5-2. Now we're 8-6 since we went 3-4 in the last 7. So I don't know if our girls are getting tired or what. But I think it comes. We got a lot of service errors, which I don't think it's not the most in the league because I know Creighton has hella service errors too, but they're winning games in a much quicker fashion. So they're probably not getting as tired as we are. Like I wanted to use Creighton as an example because they have at least 5 players with double-digit service errors, but they're 10-5. So it's not too 10-5. We're 8-6. So they got 2 more wins and 1 less loss, but they also played 1 more game. So I guess I can compare it. It's like we got Delaney Gash, 23 service errors, and Vanessa, 21 service errors. Martina, she got 18. Jaren Morgan, she got 17. Like we got 4 players with double-digit service errors, but we're not a type of team that can afford to do that. Creighton is a much talented team than we are, so they can get away with having 5 players in double-digit service errors. But it's like we've failed down the rankings. We were ranked earlier in the season, and we're falling because. And I think it just comes down to us being tired. Like I said, we won last night, so that's a good sign that we're finally able to win a conference game. And if I can get the file to watch that, I could do a watch along for it, or just watch it when I have time. But it's like, man, how are we? It's tough. It's tough. Like I don't just fail these last 7 games. And hopefully we can get back on the right track. We got to win in the conference finally. But yeah, the first 7 and the next 7 like completely flipped. I'm confused on what went wrong here. But men's soccer, the men's soccer team is 7-3-1. They did lose last night to St. John's, and the 2 losses we have against St. John's and UConn, those should have been wins. Like we shouldn't have lost those games. Like we just gave those up. We scored the first goal in the UConn game, then gave up 3 straight. Like we shouldn't allow that to happen. We're not even a team that gives up a lot of goals, which I don't get. We don't even give up a goal per game. We give up half a goal per game because we stop a lot of our men's team does, because we stop a lot of our opponents from scoring. So it was like the UConn game. They just completely ran over us in that second half, scoring 3 straight goals. Then the St. John's game, it was like, man, like St. John's was just very aggressive in that second half after we scored. We scored in the first half, and then we were up 1-0 going into halftime. In that second half, it was like a switch flipped. It's like they were very aggressive. It's like their coach told them they need to be more aggressive, which they were. They came out hot, had a lot of quick starts to throw in, square super fast. It was like, damn. And it's like our men's team is pretty good. We're outscoring our opponents by 1 goal per game. We're averaging 8 more shots per game than our opponents. We have 135 total fouls, which is bad, but we're still 7-3-1. Then we have 17 total goals. So it's like our men's team is doing pretty decent in these 11 games. Like we're looking great aside from those 2 losses, which really should have been wins. If anything, last night should have just been a tie. It should have been our second tie. We shouldn't have lost that game at all. It was like, damn, that was a tough loss. And then the UConn, when it was like 3 straight goals, you can't get that up. But we're still 7-3-1, so we're still 4 games over 500. The men's team, I feel like it's mainly positives when it comes to our men's team. It's like it's not a lot that we can look at and be like, oh yeah, that's negative. Like no, for the most part, it's pretty good. It's 2 losses that could have been avoided and could have helped them get higher in the power rankings. It's not like we're gonna fall super far off that loss, but it's like, yeah, we don't need to win as much as we can. Like those are games that we can't give away. Women's soccer. Now, women's soccer, it's a completely different story because our soccer team is 3-5-3. It's 7 of their 11 games they've played without getting a goal. Impossible to win if you can't. You got to get at least 1 goal to win, but we can't do that if 7 of 11 games we've gone with no goals. And some of those have ended in ties, which sometimes the tie's better than a loss, but we're 3-5-3. That's a lot of ties already in the first 11 games. At least I would assume so. And then we haven't won on the road. Our women's team has not won on the road yet. We're 0-3 on the road. So we've only been able to win at home, which is pretty embarrassing. We're 3-2 at home, which we're only a game above 500 at home. It's like we have no advantage on the road because we can't win at all. Then at home don't really seem to matter because we're only a game above 500. It's not like we're 5-0 at home and we just can't be stopped. It's damn near even. It's like a 60% win percentage at home, but it's like that's just a 1-game difference. If we lose, I think we have a women's soccer game at home tomorrow. I'm not working that one. I'm off tomorrow. So if we win that one, then we'll be the 4-2 at home, which would be better. That improve, and we need that win tomorrow. We cannot lose that game. But it's like we've been outshot by our opponents by 6 shots per game on the women's side. We can't win a game if we're getting outshot by our opponents like that. We only have 36 total shots on goal compared to our opponent's 66 shots on goal. If we're not aggressive, we're gonna lose these games. We're gonna end in ties because we're not getting any goals. It's only 4 games where we've scored a goal this season. That's embarrassing. Through the first 11 games, only 4 we've scored a goal, and only 3 games have you won. So one of those games when you scored a goal, you lost because I think we had a 3-1 loss to somebody a few weeks ago. It's like we started the season decent too. We started the season 3-1. Then to follow after those first 5 games, in the next 6 we went 0-4-2. So we haven't won. It's been a while since we won a game on the women's side. I don't know something needs to change fast tomorrow. Something needs to change. I don't know what. We need some type of change. We need to win at some point. But man, let's get to these NFL teams. Let's talk about. Let's talk about these winless NFL teams. The Jets are 0-4, the Titans are 0-4, and the Saints are 0-4. And they all have glaring issues and glaring problems. I think the Jets might be the best winless team out of this bunch. And I'm just taking their next 3 games. Like none of these teams have bye weeks in the next 3 weeks. So somebody is gonna win. I don't know who or how is gonna win these games. Luckily none of them play against each other in the next, because that would have been more entertaining if there was played against each other being winless. But the Jets, they got the Cowboys, Broncos, and Panthers in their next 3 games. The Jets could win one of these games. Like the Jets have a good defense still. I think they can put up. The Cowboys' defense is bad. The Jets could luck up to a win against the Cowboys, not because of anything that Dak would do, because Dak has been great. But I think that defense, they just give up hella points. Or the Cowboys will probably still win that game if they get the ball first. But I don't know. And I don't even think Justin Fields is the problem. He's not even the problem in New York. The Jets are just bad. The Broncos, I don't see a world where they beat the Broncos. And the Panthers, that's a bit iffy. Maybe they could beat the Panthers, but I don't know. I know Chuba Hubbard is out this week, but in week 7, it's Chuba Hubbard, or is that week? No, week 5. Yeah, in week 7, Chuba Hubbard might be back. I mean, I don't know how long he's out, but he's probably just out 1 week. So they could. It's a world where they go 1-2, or they just go 0-3. Like they're gonna win. The Jets could easily win one of these games. Like they could beat the Panthers. Like they probably lose to the Cowboys and Broncos and maybe beat the Panthers. But even that's not a guarantee because this team just once you're 0-4, it's like who the hell can you beat? You haven't won a game at this point. And I think they had the best chance because they got the most talent out of these 0-4 teams. It's like they also probably have objectively the tougher schedule when you have a high-power offense in the Cowboys, elite defense in the Broncos, and then you got the Panthers. So you never know what you can expect. Like even if they don't lose the Panthers, it's like they might put up a fight to where it just make you struggle and it make you wonder, can this team be decent at some point, especially in that weak division they play in? It's like, wow, maybe the Panthers can do something, or maybe they won't do nothing. The Panthers are an interesting team. Then the Titans, they're 0-4. Cam Ward has nobody as the offensive lineman. He got Drewski and Lil Wayne as offensive lineman out there. The Titans got the Cardinals, the Raiders, and Patriots. They're probably losing all 3 of those games. The Titans suck. I didn't expect them to be this bad. I thought they would at least be on track to win 6 games this season. Like I thought they would have at least been able to win 1 game, but the fact they're 0-4 And it's like, when you watch the Titans, it's like, wow, Cam Ward really has no help. I'm like, holy hell. Then they got shut out last week by the Texans. It's after you get shut out 26-0, it's like, how you can't go up from there. I mean, you should be able to, but it's like it's only negatives. You can't find no positives in an 0-4 team. You just got shut out in that fourth game versus another team that was winless in the Titans. I mean, in the Texans. And then the Saints, they're 0-4, which I said the Saints will go 0-17. They're on track for that. 3 teams are technically. But if the Saints go 0-17, I would laugh my ass off because I predicted it. But they got the Giants, Patriots, and Bears. I don't see the Saints winning any of those games. I know the Giants, now that they don't have Malik Neighbors, that's going to be a lot tougher. That's a game that the Saints have to take advantage of with them not having Malik Neighbors. But I think Jackson Dart, he looked, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I know that he played decent. I heard some positive things about Jackson Dart. So if he can replicate what he did last week against the Chargers, who have a pretty good defense, she'll be able to beat the Saints. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's the NFL, so anything can happen. But I don't know. The Patriots are a decent team. They would have start Henderson. I don't think they could be. The Patriots need to start Trayvon Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson. Yeah, y'all need to be second and third string. Let Trayvon Henderson start. Then the Bears, they're gonna take care of business against the Saints. I don't see the Bears dropping that game. I think the Bears are an okay team and probably win 8 games this year, like I predicted. But I think the Bears can win that game against the Saints. Which is, yeah, I said the Saints will go 0-17. So I predicted all these teams to beat them, ironically, which could still happen. So I think the Saints will be 0-7 going into week 8. I think the Titans would. Yeah, the Patriots, they can beat the Saints and the Titans. Those are 2 easy games for the Patriots, in my opinion, because Drake May is looking decent, too. Then the Raiders, Ashton Genty, he going to go off against the Titans. Cardinals, that's going to be a tough one. Then that's in Arizona, too. I think the Titans will be 0-7 by week 8 as well. The Jets might go. They'll be 1-6. The Jets will be 1-6. The Jets will be the team to win. They're going to beat the Panthers. They're either beating the Panthers or the Cowboys. I don't see them beating the Broncos. I could see the Cowboys just dropping this randomly because the Jets defense might be able to shut down Pickens. I don't know if CeeDee Lamb is back yet. So I think the Jets could put up a lot of points, especially when the Jets are healthy too. The Jets could win this game versus the Cowboys, but they could also win versus the Panthers, but they aren't beating the Broncos. But the Jets they're either winning in week 5 or week 7. But the Jets are going to be 1-6. They're going to be the winless team to win first. Then once it comes to the Titans and Saints, maybe 0-17 team for both conference. Because the Titans and Saints, I have no clue who they're going to beat. Because these next 3 games for the Titans and Saints, unless something drastic happens, yeah, they're cooked. But the Jets, they're going to be the first team to get a win. All right, NBA rank. NBA rank. I got to write down this timestamp. 33:30. So NBA rank came out with a top 100 list, which they do every season before the season starts. And I'm not sure what this criteria is based off of because it can't be projection. Because obviously they write the little paragraphs to explain why that person is in that spot. But it's like, if this is based off projection, some of the shit you're saying doesn't make sense. So it can't be based off projection, and I really don't know what it's based off of. I think it's just a list of names thrown together as, oh, is he a top 100 player? Let's put him here. That's really what it is. Because some of the justification for dropping certain players is like Zion, LaMelo, they moved down because they had injuries. So why the fuck is Wemby in the top 5? Did he not have a blood clot? Did he not play? He only played 40-some games. And actually, I'm going to go down a list of the top 10 problems I had with the list. The number 1 problem, RJ Beard. My gosh. Actually, his nickname is Star J Beard for a reason. In their paragraph they wrote about RJ Beard, they said he had a career year in his first full season with the Raptors. So how the fuck does he move down 47 spots? He was 53 last year, had a career year in Toronto in his first full season. Then he moves down 47 spots from 53 to 100. What sense does that make? He had a career year. Let's move him down 47 spots. Doesn't make any fucking sense. He had a career year and he moves down 40 plus spots. Are you fucking serious? That don't make sense. All right, number 2. Okay, let's talk about guys who had injuries. LaMelo and Zion, they moved down because of injuries, right? Jaden Ivey played 30 games last year, and he's magically ranked. He wasn't ranked last season. He plays 30 games, and now he's ranked. The nigga missed 50 plus games and the playoffs, but he's a top. Okay, but he's better than RJ Barrett. You can't tell me this is based on projection when Zion and LaMelo moved down crazy as hell. And then you put Jaden Ivey, who I fuck with Jaden Ivey, but to put him in the range that he was at when he only played 30 games and you put him above RJ Barrett, you put him, some of the guys he's above don't even make sense. How the fuck can he play 30 games and go from unranked to ranked? He did enough in those 30 games for you to move him up. He didn't contribute to the Pistons playoff success. The Pistons almost got to the second round without him. They pushed the Knicks to 6 and probably go to 7 if it wasn't for Malik Beasley tripping. Like, what are we? Okay, number 3. MPJ moved up 19 spots. And don't get me wrong, MPJ didn't have a bad season. He had a good season, but his season was similar to what he did last year. And then his playoff performance was fucking terrible. Like his regular season, his performances from last regular season to this past regular season, it matched up pretty well. But it's like they don't justify him going up 19 spots. Then he went to the playoffs and was terrible. You want to talk about injuries? If you're injured, don't play. Not my fault. You're the one that's going to the playoffs putting up 9 points, and then you move up 19 spots on the list. Okay. A head scratcher. Number 4 problem. Aaron Nesmith over Andrew Nembhard. And you're going to put them on the list. They got to be in the same spot. They got to be in the same range. You can't put Aaron Nesmith 65 and have Andrew Nembhard at 81. What the fuck? No, I think Andrew Nembhard is better, but if you're going to put them, at least put Nembhard at 67, at 65 and put Nesmith at 70. They should be 5 spots from each other. If you're just going to do that, at least put Nembhard at 70. But to put them this damn far apart, act like Nesmith is that much better, like you think he's better, cool. But nah, by 16 spots? Am I doing that math correctly? Yeah, 16 spots ahead? Hell no. It's a 16 spot difference between these two. They got nearly the same impact on the team. 5 spots minimum. You can't put them for 16 spots. Nesmith being 16 spots ahead is fucking ridiculous. Number 5 problem. Cooper Flag at 52. He hasn't played a fucking game yet. He's at 52 and he's yet to play a game? Like, how are you glazing a guy that hasn't? He shouldn't be on the list at all. You can't tell me this is based on projection when you're projecting Zion and LaMelo to put up big numbers. You're projecting LaMelo to average 27 and you move him down because of an injury. But Cooper Flag, who's yet to play an NBA game, who's yet to smell an NBA court, is on the top 100. How is he down there in the top 50? He's ahead of Drew Holiday? All right. Even you put him ahead of RJ Barrett. Okay. We ain't even seen Cooper Flag on the NBA court yet. Preseason just started. And this list came out before preseason. All he's did in the NBA is training camp and media day. And he's 52. Okay. He's only 5 spots behind Joel Embiid. This is my next problem. Number 6. Embiid was 8 last year, and he goes all the way to 47. And I don't even like Embiid. Embiid, one of my least favorite players. But how the hell did he move down from 8 to 47? I know he's been injured. I know he was injured most of last season. But Jaden Ivey played 30 games, and he went from unranked to ranked. You moving Embiid went completely down from 8 to 47 last year. Let me check how many games Joel Embiid played, because that seriously doesn't make any sense to me. I gotta look up Joel Embiid's stats, because I know he didn't play a lot, but I'm just trying to see that I'm trying to see how many games he played. He played 19 games. Okay, his numbers were down due to the fact that he didn't play that much and he was injured. But how are you gonna move him from 8 to 47 that quickly? You couldn't at least get him in the top 20 or top 30? 47? So you don't think Embiid is a top 25 player anymore based off of just one season and him being hurt? But you know what? Okay. NBA rank, y'all got it. That's number 7. You put Jaren Jackson, the tallest nigga in the state of Tennessee. He's the tallest nigga in a few states, and he can't rebound for shit. Put Aja Wilson on the fucking Grizzlies right now, and she's out rebounding Jaren Jackson, I promise you. And she's 6'4". This nigga can't get fucking rebounds, and he's ahead of Ja Morant. If you want to say it's not that big of a difference, that's cool. But if you're going to put Jaren Jackson at 33 and Ja at 31, and you literally said, in your article, you said, I mean, in the paragraph for Ja, you said the offense wasn't catered to Ja. He was in a, so you know that Ja was in a weird system to where it wasn't helping Ja Morant. How the fuck do you how are you putting Jaren Jackson above Ja for something that Ja couldn't control? How is that Ja's fault that the offense didn't cater around him? That's a coaching issue. That's not something Ja can control. And Jaren Jackson was better than Ja? What the hell did he do when Ja was out in the playoffs? Somebody please tell me. Because if I remember correctly, Desmond Bain was the one that was putting in the most work. Jaren Jackson wasn't doing shit against OKC. Really, the Grizzlies team really wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't going to win regardless if Ja was there or not. OKC was the best team in the league. They wasn't going to win that series whether he was there or not. But Ja was the engine of that team. An engine of an offense that wasn't even catered towards him. And he still led them to the playoffs. But you know what? Derek White at 26. Derek White, you got Derek White ahead of Joel Embiid. You got Derek White at 26. Derek White is ahead of Drew Holiday by like 50 plus spots. And you think and before y'all say anything, if you think Drew Holiday is better, that's cool. That's not the issue I have. The problem is, how 50 plus spots? Like, these niggas should be at least 10 spots within each other. If you're gonna put Derek White at 26, at least have Drew at 36. But you can't have Drew all the way in the fucking 80s. But they're not that far apart now. If you think Derek White is better, that's cool, but they're not that damn far apart. Like, hold on, like, what the fuck? Derek White at 26. At number 9, you got, oh shit, you got Evan Mobley ahead of Paolo Banchero, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and Anthony Davis. What the fuck are we doing? You got Evan Mobley at fucking 13? You're telling me Evan Mobley is the best player on the Cavaliers? Donovan Mitchell was the nigga that was in the MVP race. What the fuck are we talking about? This list, what the fuck is this list based off of? How is Evan Mobley better than MVP candidate Donovan Mitchell? He was 5th in MVP voting. He was on all NBA first team. But Evan Mobley's the best player on the Cavaliers. Okay. Evan Mobley's better than Devin Booker. The Suns might have been fucking ass, but Devin Booker was doing his thing. The Suns was really some shit that Devin Booker couldn't control. Like, Devin Booker's still a top 15 player in this league. I don't care what nobody say. You're going to put Evan Mobley above Paolo. Okay. So this is based off of injuries. Holy. So y'all moving niggas down. Okay. So you moving niggas down for having injuries, but you have Paolo ahead of Kawhi. And I fuck with Paolo, but like, this list is so fucking ass. How was Evan Mobley ahead of any of the niggas he's ahead of Anthony Davis too? What the? Evan Mobley, he was DPOY. Okay, cool. AD injuries, you can make that argument, but that argument is fucking stupid when the injuries apparently don't matter for Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey must be kissing ass to make the list. Because that nigga was injured too, and he went from unranked to ranked, while all the other niggas that was injured fell down on the fucking list. How the fuck does that make sense? Okay. Evan Mobley ahead of fucking Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. Paolo and Anthony Davis. Evan Mobley, you can put him top 25, cool, but that nigga is not the 13th best player in the NBA. He's not the 13th best player in the National Basketball Association, especially not ahead of Donovan Mitchell. What the fuck? Okay, Evan Mobley won DPOY. That's great, but Donovan Mitchell was an MVP candidate, All NBA first team. Evan Mobley was on All NBA third team. So the third team is more important than the first team now? All right. And number 10, Wemby at 5. He played 46 games and he moves up to 5. How the fuck is Wemby a top 5 player already? He don't got no playoff runs. We ain't even seen this thing in the playoffs yet, and he's already top 5. Okay. You still got LeBron and Steph in the top 10 when they didn't play like top 10 players last year. Okay. What the fuck did we do in the playoffs? We lost to the Wolves in 5. Yeah, LeBron wasn't doing. Yeah, LeBron didn't do shit for us last year. And what happened to Steph? He got injured in the second round versus T Wolves. Nigga wasn't even available. Then you got Wemby 5. Nigga had a fucking blood clot and they had a fucking playoff run. And you got this nigga top 10 already. How the fuck does that work? The Wemby 5th, that's fair in the league. All right. Then you put Jokic at 1 when Shea just won the scoring title, MVP, and Finals MVP, and packed the nigga Jokic up in the playoffs. So let's just fucking ass. I don't know what's gonna put RJ Barrett had a career year and moving down 47 spots. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Oh, career year. Let's move him down 47 spots. So let's just ass. What's the timestamp for this? 45, 48. WNBA Finals Game 1 recap. Shit. The Aces win. The Aces won 89-86 in a very entertaining game 1. And it really came down to free throws at the end. Alyssa Thomas, who was 1 of 4 at the free throw line in that game, missed 2 free throws at the end when the Mercury were down 87-86. Needed 1 to tie it, needed 2 to take the lead. And she went to the line and missed both free throws, shot 25% from the free throw line. And what she had a decent game, but those misses at the end were very crucial. And you had Jackie Young on the Aces, who was 3 of 13 from the field, but 4 of 4 at the free throw line and made the last 2 free throws to win the game for them, to put the icing on the cake, because the Mercury did get another chance. Those free throws only put them up by 3 to 2 she made for the Aces, put them up 89-86. But Mercury had another chance when they would have made the last shot, and they Aces win thanks to Jackie Young and what she was able to do at the free throw line. Free throws are important. Can't miss important free throws. So yeah, that was a great win for the Aces. Phoenix only had 16 bench points compared to Las Vegas's 41 bench points they had, and 21 of those came from Donna Evans, who had 4 steals as well. She had a great game off the bench. Then for Phoenix, Kalia Copper, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 9 from the 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the 5 of 9 from the 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. A lot of like this game it came down to free throws at the end. It was like obviously causes. It was no complaining. I ain't see no complaining about the refs. I think the officiating was pretty solid. But it came down to free throws. If Alyssa Thomas makes 1 free throw, this could be a very different game. Because likely Jackie Young doesn't get fouled. She likely doesn't end up with the ball in her hands because they trust her to make those free throws. But she was 3 of 13. So maybe they force the ball. Maybe they want Jackie Young to take that last shot since they know that she's struggling. Because obviously Aja Wilson would have been doubled. And then on Phoenix, Satu Sabali, she had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 50% from the field, 42% from 3, 100% from the free throw line, made all 4 of her free throws. Then on the other side, you had Jaleel Lloyd. She came off the bench as well with 18 points and 4 rebounds, 50% from the field. Just made 2 out of her 7 threes, though. But then Donna Evans, like I said, 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 6 from the 3-point line with those 21 points and 4 steals. And Aja Wilson giving you 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 7 of 16 from the field. A very a great game for what she was able to do. So yeah, it was just a good win for the Aces. They were able to secure game 1 at home. Must need a win. This was a great game. Phoenix definitely fought. Sunday is going to be very interesting. That should be a very entertaining game, just like this one. A best of 7 series. I actually like that it's best of 7. Brings in more revenue. Players get paid more. So I'm rocking with a best of 7 series. But the scheduling does need to be a bit better for the WNBA. The schedule is kind of crazy. So maybe that's another video topic for a different time. Not something that I'm going to discuss today, but entertaining game nonetheless. And then, yeah, that can move me into athletes of the week. For the WWE, I went with Sami Zayn. He defeated Aleister Black on SmackDown to retain the U.S. title. Pretty entertaining match. I talked about it in a short earlier. I enjoyed the match. So, yeah, Yeah, Sami Zayn been doing a good job as the United States champion. I'm rocking with it. For the WNBA, Donna Evans, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, 8 of 13 from the field last night, 5 of 6 from 3, and she did that coming off the bench in Game 1 of the finals. She was the true MVP for the Aces. Like, she brought that spark off the bench and was really impactful. For college football, Luke Altmaier from Illinois in their 34-32 win versus USC, where he was 20 of 26 passing wise, had 328 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he also had 5 carries for 28 yards, a 5.6 average, and 1 touchdown. So he had 3 total touchdowns and led them to a much-needed win. But both teams were undefeated going into that, or both teams had winning records going into that. So neither team wanted to lose that game. Illinois was able to pull it out in the end. For the NFL, one with Patrick Mahomes, looked elite once again. 4 touchdowns, 270 yards. KC 37-20 win versus the Ravens to avoid falling to 1-3. Much needed win. Keep them in hopes to potentially win the division to end the year. So, and then for men's soccer, college soccer, one with Andrew Porzunkik. He had the game winner in the 85th minute of the St. John's versus Akron game, in which St. John's ended up winning 2-1. So yeah, those are my athletes of the week. That wraps up this edition of Weekly Sports Talk with Ed, episode 66. So make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share for others to see. And that NBA ranked top 100 was fucking ass.